Copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Action 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is promoted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, non-profit in favor of fair use. All media news video is news for the purpose of review and commentary on the terms of fair use. All footage, music, and images news all belong to their respective companies. Just a little note before the actual review begins. If you think I've actually played a visual novel, then you, my dear viewer, are very wrong. Also, I humbly apologize if I happen to get my terminology wrong. As much of as a talker I am, I'm not a gamer. At the time of this review, the frequent games I do play are Minecraft and Happy Pets. Although in the past I have been addicted to other games, Birdmouse Rescue, Sonic Riders, Dragon Fable Neopets, Pet Society, and Dragon Nest. Now today's review is of Unix and Comfort Soft's ultimate game, La Storia della Arcana Famiglia. No gamers, I am not reviewing the actual game, but rather its 2012 anime adaptation that was directed by Chiaki Kon and animated by Studio JC staff. Around the summer of 2012, we fellow otaku were given what is commonly known as Arcana Famiglia. The plot that managed to pull numerous people in was located in the island of Gallia, found within the hidden Italian coast. Excuse me. Here is an organization known as Arcana Famiglia, whose main purpose is to protect Gallia and its people. Members of Arcana Famiglia have supernatural powers due to forming contracts with the 22 major Arcana cards. On the 15th birthday of the organization's leader, Mondo, or Papa as the members call him, announces that he's retiring and will be finding the family's new heir. He plans to do this by holding the Arcana Duo in 2 months' time, a tournament where family members battle against each other to become the next Papa. It is also said that those who have formed contracts with one of the major Arcana cards, known as Turako, are expected to participate. As bonus, the winner will be granted a wish by Mondo and will have the right to marry his only 16-year-old daughter, Felicita. With a plot like that, it's no wonder that people were getting hyped up and had expectations for the show. With the majority of the anime's watchers will say they were disappointed by the direction the anime took. It all depends on what they were looking for. For me, this show, I was able to please certain cravings I had while giving a teaspoon of feeding for other things I wanted. Let's start off with the Arcana cards that have been bestowed upon the characters. The whole concept of this Arcana team seemed really interesting, and the show had really relied on it to keep the story going on while trying to catch the viewer's attention. Yes, the anime did make use of it frequently, and in fact throughout the series, nearly each known Turako card had a chance to use their Arcana powers, whether it be once or more than that. Linking the Arcana cards with the Arcana duel, I wasn't expecting the anime to be a full-out action one with a few possible further tropes. To make more sense of the previous lines I have just said, I felt that the show made a rather unbalanced usage of Arcana powers depending on the scenarios given. Excluding the first episode, it was only towards the end the series became more serious and took full advantage of the Arcana concept too. As I've said earlier, it kept the story going on. In between those times were basically the daily lives of Arcana Famiglia members, where they used their Arcana powers to complete daily tasks. Now this could range from doing duties as protecting the island of Regalia to finding a missing cat and returning itself to its owner. People may say that these episodes are filler ones, but this being a 12-episode anime, I question that assumption. While I do agree there have been better written episodes leading to a better usage of Arcana powers, I'd say these episodes exist to build up character development and establish bonds satisfy the romance-testing watchers. Even during those so-called filler episodes, we got to speak of the character backstory, which were rather relevant in understanding the characters. Much like the Arcana powers, the series had taken advantage of the character's past to create a more serious atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, during times the anime has tried to be comedic or placing its characters in slapstick situations. This is especially evident at the end of the filler episodes where there's this kind of punishment game for the characters as they atone for the sins they have committed during the episode. The show's attempt at being comedic is just as ruthless as my last attempt with Vision 2 before it has. Well, I did say I'll be linking the Arcana cut with the Arcana della. I'll leave that for the verdict as it'll be the secret ending. When it comes to the characters, they have very large, large range of personalities, but there's nothing special different from your typical reverse harem. Character archetypes in this anime include tsundere, perverted fool, seductive womanizer, constant smiling one, big brother figure, big guy, mysterious role model figure, and overprotective father. The characters appear to be rather dull, and you can't really relate to them because it looks like they're in this box that cuts out any type of affection and power remain close to them, and it's completely closed up from start to finish. I guess the anime tries to make the characters more interesting by giving them a brief backstory explanation, which is supposed to be all complex and dark, making you want to feel sympathy for them. But due to how generic they are, I couldn't care less. They do portray the archetypes well, but they never cross a boundary where they're more than that sense. Speaking of generic, my god is Felicita, the main heroine generic. If I know for you say arguing saying she's badass with her fighting skills put aside, and what do you get? A normal finished girl. Nothing has made any of these characters significant and left an impact on me. Felicita appears to fit the prince archetype whose love for everyone, as one of the very few females in the Arcana Famiglia, who appears to have treated her respect to whom people to fight along the beauty. Basically, she's like the hot spunky girl you had a crush on in middle school, and you couldn't tell her what you felt because she was still innocent. To add to that factor, the series felt like the look of Felicita growing up and experiencing life's challenges as a mature woman, which wasn't as much as in the Arcana Famiglia. Now, all this really does sound like an interesting female character to me, if it weren't for the fact that Felicita was generic. With the exception of her maturing kindness, you don't really get to see anything else from Felicita. She may be determined into choosing her own path, but when you really put the pieces together, just getting a generic woman who will take action on something up what she believes in, and disapproving what people initially thought of her. While that archetype is amazing, she doesn't go beyond that and can be rather dull. The OST by Yasuhiro Misawa was rather mediocre at best. There's nothing wrong with it as the tracks are suitable during the given scene. As this anime is heavily Italian, giving the same can be said for OST. A brief example of this would be the ending piece of Treasure. Although personally I think it would been better if the entire song was more Italian in the sense of instruments used and maybe back vocals. This brings to the opening with Gender Sakai, which is rather fast-paced, which is a rather fast-paced, powerful J-pop opening accompanying some of the best animation of this anime. The character designs feel like different types of chocolate had sculptured into human figures, then with chocolate sauce had outlines. To add to that, the eye coloring either made them soulless or had the under eyes, but the color scheme the animations for this scene was remarkable. It really caught my attention as the light blobbish looking colors seemed like something from an illustrated comic book. Now, JC Staff, the studio behind this anime, is capable of animating gorgeous anime. Arcana Famiglia isn't the best example for this, as when the character zooms out, we only get about 3 levels of characters, it looks like shit. While if the camera zooms in the character's face with it closely, JC Staff can work at least a bit of their magic. This is clearly evident with Felicita's long flowing hair. As we're coming to the end of this review, I just have a few questions. What time period is it set in? Since I am oblivious to many things in this world, I'm assuming Arcana Famiglia was set during the 19th century. This won't be a problem to anyone when watching the anime, but I'm just curious as to why the people behind the original game's creation decided not to have the era be the 21st century. Well, they were still using those high cars, there weren't any visible telephones, the people still used to have pirate ships you see in Peter Pan. No one owns a television or radio, horses are still a method of transport, and with the exception of the microphones and speakers, there doesn't seem to be any electricity or technology used. Another thing that's bothered me is that why are the men so concerned of Felicita's safety? I understand that she's the popular only daughter and she's a female, or could it be because they're simply being chivalrous? But the fact she willingly joined Arcana Famiglia, that doesn't scream out that no one's going to get hurt. I placed Arcana Famiglia as a mediocre anime. The plot had potential but went downhill when they decided to focus on the romantic aspect. The Dudio, the tournament that this anime was building up to, was incredibly rushed and the ending was rather anticlimactic. It was a huge disappointment. Which brings to the fact you shouldn't watch this anime for the little action plot, occasional Italian soundtrack, or the very beautiful animation, but for the very cliche characters and moments-heavy story. I'll only recommend this anime to those who are itching for guilty pleasure reverse harem with every male archetype that surely make a female adolescent make her go in her heat. La storia della Arcana Famiglia has a score of 4.2 out of 10 Hoshi.